Hello everyone, this is my first teaching memo slash video as Module 1 has ended and Module 2 has begun. The Patriots began their season Sunday night and 33-3. Tom Brady is back. The Red Sox continue to tease their fans by hanging around the edge of the wild card and losing to the Yankees. I stayed up till midnight to see them lose. Okay, enough of that. I also invite everyone to look at my assessment Facebook page. Yes, Dr. Tom is on social media. You can see it right here, EDSEN 640 Assessment Regulatory. Go on to that page. I don't know if you click on it in the teaching memo if you'll get there, but there's the URL, facebook.com/EDSN640. So you should be able to find it. I'm sure there's no other 640s on Facebook. I wouldn't think so. Okay, I always start my teaching memos with a little housekeeping. This section gets smaller as you all get accustomed to my course and working in Canvas. My video is in two parts. The first part has already been posted under the assignments page, learning activities, reading assignments, my assignment video. So that's the first part. And this is the second part where I go over what happened the week before. By this time, you should have completed 4 assignments located in the Getting Started in Module 1. The Academic Integrity Statement, Memorandum of Understanding, which can be found under the Getting Started link. The Initial Baseline Survey, you do not have to cite material or have a reference list. This will just be a pass-fail. Everybody gets 100. Great way to start your course with an A+. Upload your initial post in the assignment folder and then cut and paste it in the discussion board in your group. Most of you are confused about my initials for this. Upload post for ALDB, that's the Assessment Literacy Discussion Board. So I like to cut down on my writing with initials. Kind of like the military. These are not 2 separate assignments. Uploading your initial post is a must, so it will be checked by Turnitin. Several of you were confused about that. I also check it for APA. I will do that in the first initial post and this one coming up. There's also an optional discussion board where you get to introduce yourself. Most of you have done that. Some of you haven't shared a picture or a video. That's okay because it's optional, but it certainly makes it more personal that we can see you. At the least, you should put a picture in your profile, and that's up in the upper right corner of right here in the account where it says account. Just click on that and click on your picture. You should be able to, or click on profile, then click on your picture. See the edit button there? You can add a picture. So please do that, at least so when you make your discussion board posts, we can see you. And you can say, hey, that's Samantha, or that's Sammy. Okay. Lastly, I'm still waiting to hear from some of you as a response to my welcome memo. When you write me and say, how do I respond to your welcome memo? I know you haven't watched my welcome memo video, which is right on the home page when you first log on. There it is, welcome to 640. Click on that and there is my welcome video. I don't have a transcript in this part, but if you go to the home page and hit the Getting Started, you'll see Dr. Tom's welcome video there as well. And in this one, there is a transcript. So if you don't like watching my videos, you can always read the transcript. All right. Most of you have done that. So those of you that have, ignore that. Several of you have panicked when you submitted your baseline survey after the informal due date, which I changed back to the end of the module. I put it on the first day of the module, so you would see it first when you logged on to your home page. It would say, do this baseline survey, because many people do it as an assignment well after they've read stuff for the first module, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for what you know prior to this. So also understand that I don't deduct points for late work. There is a timeliness part of my discussion board rubric, so that there is some penalty there if you wait a long time to post. But for written assignments, I accept them right up until when I close my grades. So, and I don't take off points. As you'll see later in this course, that's a practice that distorts achievement. And I've read some of your baseline surveys where people say, yes, they don't hand point the assignment in time, I don't accept it. What that tells people is that I don't care what you write. I don't care if you got it. And who knows why they turned it in late. So giving kids full credit for work, even if it's late, doesn't teach them responsibility or not teach them responsibility. It teaches them that you value what they know. It teaches them that, hey, it's okay if you master this, and I'm not rewarding speededness. In other words, if you do it quickly and get it done on time, you get rewarded. If you don't, you get punished. Don't punish students with grades, and we'll get into that in Module 11. Just a reminder again, I mentioned this in my assignment video, to receive a maximum grade for timeliness, A+, your initial posting must be submitted within the first 4 days of the discussion board. This week that will be Thursday, because the module starts on Monday. You should get on early so we all have an opportunity to react to your comments. The points for that part of the rubric decrease as you delay posting. If you post within the first 7 days, this week it'll be by Sunday. Last week it's Monday when I'm making this video. You still get an A. You still get 4, proficient. Also remember that you need to use appropriate APA format in your initial post. Initial post only. In your response post, you only use appropriate APA and a reference list if it's something new, something that's not in the course. If you're not sure how to do in-text citations, see the Purdue OWL's website. Where do I have that? I have that up here somewhere. Right here. Purdue OWL's online writing lab. It teaches you everything you need to know about APA. And I will also give you feedback in the first couple of times. But there's also a APA part of the rubric for initial posts, so you can lose points for not having correct APA. The other characteristic on the discussion board is responsiveness. I mentioned this in my assignment video, so it doesn't morph into a 2-module long BS session where people say I did this and I did that and blah 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 and go way off on tangents. There's a responsiveness where you have to use our readings to support your comments in at least 4 of your response posts, or 5 of them if you want an A+, 5 out of 10 if you want an A+, 4 out of 6 if you want an A. You only must use the citation if you share new information, as I mentioned. You also can get credit in this area if you respond to me. I may address someone specifically, but everyone is welcome to jump in and challenge and respond to me. Dr. Tom, I don't agree with that, and blah, blah, blah. As long as you support your comments with evidence, that's okay. You can disagree with me. Try to avoid references that we cannot immediately access or are lengthy academic diatribes, and you know what those are, the ones with the abstract and a whole giant reference list at the end and are like 20 pages long. Don't put those in. Put short web articles that are relevant and you typically have an author. I mentioned this in my assignment video. Every module starts on the overview page. At the end of that are 2 anchor activities. They both have templates that you should download and start working on. vocabulary in your own words with definitions in your own words. That I think that's worth 5% at the end of the semester. You hand it in. And your final baseline survey, which is worth 15% of your grade, that's a pretty large chunk, that you have to use references from our readings. You have to cite our readings to support your comments. And so that's a big idea. This tells me what you've learned from this course. So make sure you do that as you go through the course so you won't be suffering at the end. I don't like suffering at the end, especially mine when I have to correct all this stuff at the end rather than a couple weeks before. When you see one of your discussion board posts that says it was edited by me, don't think I changed anything. It means I went in and made a link you shared live. You should do this yourself using the link icon in the text box. Highlight your link, copy it, then paste it with the link icon to make it live. I'll show you how to do that here. Let me go into a discussion, and I'll show you how to do it with my discussion board post. You'll notice that all my discussion board links you can click on, and that's because I went in and I highlighted the words. Okay, so improved assessment literary outside schools too, and I highlighted it. And I first copied the link, and you can see I don't have the links there, but I copied the links. Now you go into this link icon and you paste the URL into here. Since I didn't copy a link, it's not there. So that is basically what I've done when you see that one of your discussion board posts was edited. All right, so don't think I'm doing something weird to you. Some big ideas. This is always a section I have in my teaching memo post. Big ideas of the previous module. The first module was meant to get your feet wet regarding assessment. What's good, what's bad, how we may be able to use the process to increase student achievement. I was very impressed with the amount of participation, especially during the week. It picked up a little on the weekend, as usual, but overall, great involvement. Conversations were getting deep, and not just, I like what you wrote, and I agree with it. I don't like those posts. It's okay to say you like somebody's post, yep, excuse me, or that you agree with it, but say why. Go into it, say why, and support your comments with evidence. Many of the discussions centered around the appropriateness of large-scale accountability tests. We will be exploring how these are made and how they compare with teacher-made tests in Module 6 and 7, which, by the way, no one seems to mind teacher-made tests, even though the large-scale standardized tests are made by people with PhDs in test creation. No one seems to be too concerned about how teachers make their tests, whether they're reliable, valid, and whether they are follow, item writing guidelines, etc., etc. Keep an open mind about it. Many of you don't like large-scale tests because you didn't do well on them. That is not a reason to say they're all bad. Because I know a person who did terrible on them, get test anxiety. Well, we know ways to relieve test anxiety. We know ways to get kids through that part of it. Etc., etc. And so you're going to learn all that later. So there were discussions about the opt-out movement in pre-K assessment. I don't specifically focus on pre-K assessment, but I've added a section at the end of the modules with some resources. I'll show you that. I'll scroll down to the bottom. Here it is. It's right next to the last section, material just for early childhood teachers. And I'd like to add to this, so you pre-K teachers, as you're getting involved in our discussion, some of you have done this already. Jessica on 6/40/20 shared an article from the National Association of Educating Young Children, building an environments that encourage positive behavior. Also, Laura in section 6/40/23 shared what I considered a very relevant article, a manual for all teachers on accommodations and modifications for ELL. That's not necessarily pre-K, but it's It's what I'm looking for to add to my course. So, especially in the pre-K area, but I'm always looking to add to other parts of my course as well. And I've already added this one to that Laura added, and I will add the one that Jessica shared into my pre-K material. Some of you wrote about formative assessment, which according to Black and William and Hattie, is one of the most powerful interventions that a teacher can use to improve academic achievement. So if you plan on being assessment literate, this is the way to go. This is also a big idea of this course and one of your final baseline survey questions. So make sure you get a good handle on exactly what formative assessment is. It's not a test, it's a process. Learning targets will be a big idea of this course. Having specific, measurable, and student-friendly goals is imperative to have students master the standards. As you will discover in our test creation process coming up, having learning targets that are specific and measurable is imperative for making an assessment that you can use to analyze your results. So that's it for this week. I will be back with another teaching memo next Monday.